Awesome. So I just want to make a first introduction before we start this. Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. I am Amor Tocatlian. I am the Canadian trainer for Hub Plus in Canada, and I'm also going to be your main contact for shipment and orders in Canada. Today we'll be having Brenda Moran. She's from the US. We also have US distribution, and she will be leading today's demonstration. And without much delays, I would like to have you, Brenda.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And as Amor was saying that we're kind of doing this the first year, I believe, that this virtual is inviting the US. So thanks for inviting us. Any of you Canada people that are wanting to try this, the treatment or the products, of course, reach out to Amor. Those of you that are in the US can reach out to me. Both of us can help you, but it's just going to make it a little bit easier for shipping and customs and things like that. So I just wanted to say thanks again for inviting me. Super excited to be here. And wow, is this an exciting time? This virtual event is happening just when we're rebranding and relaunching several things. So let me just kind of give you a little bit of history about this product and why this is so incredible and why this is cutting edge and why this is something that you can really consider bringing it into your clients. First of all, PLLA is short for polylactic acid. And in 2002, it was introduced with Sculpla. So that was the main branding with that. And it was the world's first polylactic infused topical product / mask. So this came on the market in 2002. In 2006, Korea started exporting it to Japan and a few other countries in Asia. In 2006 to 2014, we developed a professional grade for treatment used for complete efficacy. It was tested with P&K. It was certified clinical and 8 elements, which are, now, it's really important that I go through this list because this is pretty impressive when they were doing testing and certification and all of this. First off, it was tested for reducing wrinkles, all past eyes, deep wrinkles, and forehead, also facelifting. So this is not only going to help with the topical deep lines and wrinkles, but it's going to kind of have a lifting effect as well. Again, this is all topical, and this is just wonderful. This actually helps with skin tone and skin brightening as well. We've seen that a lot with one of our products with Cavaplan. I'll be touching on that as well here in a minute. It's also amazing for skin moisture. We've really seen that, especially with our home care products, how it's really key for moisture and all of that. It reduces sebum and reduces blackheads. So we normally associate sebum and of course blackheads with acneic clients. So don't think that you can't do these treatments, that they're maybe too emollient to use on acneic clients, because you can, because the mask is beautiful to pull those blackheads out. Wouldn't you agree, Amor? Okay, I think she's muted. Okay. In 2017, AOMed, which is the company that I'm the educator and rep for, signed a contract, and we started to carry Sculpla exclusively in the US. And so that's 2017. So as you know, if you're kind of following the timeline on the dates, we were in the Korean and the Asian market for quite a few years and doing this testing and the certification before we even brought it over to North America. So 2017, we signed the exclusivity for AOMed. In 2018, we did a huge investment and we signed a contract to be exclusively using the name product worldwide, except for Asia. Just a little side note on this. Asia's Sculpla, I guess, is what they're still calling it, is a lower concentration and a lower price point. one of the big deals about it being in America is, and it's probably the same in Canada as well, we have a very, for lack of a better word, we're a little bit more high maintenance over here. So we want more of the polylactic. We want more of the good stuff that's in the product. And so when we signed those contracts, we have, with this whole launching and everything, have made sure it's specifically for the American market and for the American clientele that demand those type of results. So anyways, I was mentioning AOMed started looking for other international distributors. We received a trademark for the name in the US, and then in 2018 is when Amor started partnering with us, and she is the Canada distributor. So we're very, very blessed that she has you all taken care of up there. And I know she's doing very, very well, because this is really unlike any product that's out there on the market. Kind of where we're at today is in 2021, we are upgrading the Sculpta line, and we are rebranding it to Hop Plus, which is short for House of Pla. We are going to have more of the polylactic in it, and we're going to have other ingredients. Something else that's really, really impressive is when we first started off with this topical line and the mask, we were working with one lab. Since then, we're working with 3 labs. And I really, really like that, because one, we're making sure that we have the highest amount of polylactic in our products, the best polylactic. We have 3 different labs that are kind of, I don't want to say checking on each other, but it's for quality control purposes, that we're making sure that we're producing the best products out there. So really excited about that. Now I'm just going to kind of show you a few things that how it's kind of progressed, what we first started with, the products that we've come out with since then. Over the next 3 days, we're going to be having different people on this platform with the Hop Plus, talking about specific products and treatments with this line. So make sure that you tune back into that. You can, of course, follow us on our Instagram channels, things like that. But I just kind of wanted to show you, for those of you that have never heard of this or seen this, what we're actually kind of talking about. So when we first came out with this, it was kind of like a purple folder like this. This is your treatment mask. This is not an at-home product. You're going to be doing this in the treatment room. I'm not going to be doing a demo today, because we're going to be doing that on one of the other days. But this is a special patented hydrogen mask that is what activates the good stuff that is in the serum. Okay. This is the ampule, and this ampule is activated by this, and it's pushed down into the skin via this. So the better the seal, the better the treatment. And we do recommend that you do a series of 5 treatments every 7 to 10 days. And then there's a maintenance. We'll go into the more nuts and bolts and all of that in one of the other days, but I wanted to show you. So it started off just as this. Then as we're developing, we are bringing in the stem cell mist. Now, our Korean friends call this their little Botox in a bottle, because this is super, super hydrating, very soothing. So the reason why we brought this in is to help, one, our practitioners that do this get a better seal and start off in the gate having more hydration. So we tell our clients, all the practitioners, and I know Amor and I both teach our accounts that we have, bare minimum, your clients need to be using this as an at-home product after the treatment, because it's just going to be more hydrating and all of that. So we started off with the mask, the treatment mask. We came out with this that you use in the treatment room, but you can also retail. Okay, so that was the first thing that we did. The next thing that we came out with is the Cavapla. Now this is kind of like your serum step. This is very, very luxurious, and it has caviar, of course, polylactic. It has the technology where it bubbles up and pulls that down into the skin. a lot of people, when they first try this, they think it has hydrogen peroxide or another ingredient, but it's actually the technology that makes it bubble up. So we had the big size for a while. Then we came out with the little trial size, which is great to travel with, or if you have an account that, or a client that you're not really sure if they want the big one quite yet. This is a great introductory. Now, what we have done with the rebranding, and we are going to be turning everything over to House of PLLA, and let me see if I can show you. Don't know if that's going to be pulling up on the screen or not. The box is going to say House of PLLA, but we've also added 4 growth factors in our CavaPLA now. And I tell you what, you're taking a product that's absolutely fabulous and amping it up even more. People are loving, loving, loving this product. So you can use this as a serum step. You want to make sure you do it on clean, dry skin. A lot of people will do this really heavy at night and have it as a moisturizer, and they wake up and their skin is just amazing. So we have 2 different sizes, the 120 ml and the 30 ml. The next thing that we came out with was our Promoter Repair Cell Cream, okay? And we came out with a little jar. It was a real pretty jar. It was 50 ml. And we decided to go a little bit more, what is the word I'm looking for? Environmentally friendly, I guess. And we came out with the little 50 ml tube. Now, this one, and I know that it's not going to pick up on the camera, but for a while we were calling it a cream. And I love that it was called a cream, but when we're talking with some of our, since we're talking with professionals here, some of our younger clients, they kind of steer away from cream because they think of an old lady that's 80 years old and it's going to be too heavy. And that's not the case with this. It's very, very light and hydrating, but we decided with this whole branding that we're going to be calling it a moisturizer. So the small one right now, as we're repackaging, is moisturizer. And this big one right now says cream. It's the exact same product right now. We are just changing the label on it. Okay, wanted to share that. We also came out with a repair cushion foundation with an SPF 50. Now, we know how important sun health is, and we really wanted to come out with something that was going to go into our Sculpla, now House of PLLA line. And I had never, ever used a cushion foundation before until I used this. And I really, really like this concept a lot. So this is a cushion. You would just pull this off, and let me see if I can do that real quick. So let me grab a hold of this. It has a little piece of aluminum foil on here to keep it moist, but that's the cushion. So you take this and you just damp it. So this has a little bit of tint to it. We are coming out with a darker shade for more Fitzpatrick's 4 and 5 and 6, but this has titanium dioxide in it. It has the polylactic in it. It also has 4 different growth factors in it. So this is a beautiful, beautiful foundation sunscreen that you can put on after your treatment, your what is going to be called PLLA treatment now instead of Sculpla. And beautiful. So you can send them out the door and they can feel like that they have not only foundation, but sun protection as well. So that's one thing that another thing that we came out with. And then our latest product that we've come out with is the Promoter Repair Eye Cream. And this is fabulous. So one thing I do want to say, because we've been talking a lot about this filling in the lines and plumping the skin and things like that, this has a special ingredient in it called Volufill that is not actually going to make your eyes more baggy. So I wanted to address that right now in case you were kind of thinking that. And it will super hydrate, it will fill in the lines. It's amazing. Of course, it has the polylactic in it. a little pro tip here, if you want to put it around your lip liner on top of your lips, it's going to super hydrate them and get rid of the lines on your lips as well. So another thing that I wanted to show you and kind of give you a little bit of a tip, we, in all of our trial kits or our kits that we have with our polio mask, we include a little syringe with it. And the reason why we do that, we didn't for a long time, but we started doing that because these ampules are already pre-measured out. And we feel like that if you don't have the needleless syringe, you're going to have to guess a lot on how much you're actually drawing out. So this ampule is for 5 treatments. And when you get your products in this little cellophane bag here, you're going to get 5 of these envelopes. So everything's all easy peasy. Everything's measured out for you. A couple tricks that I want to show you is roll it, kind of heat it up. Polylactic does not like it when it's super, super cold. Now, that being said, it doesn't like it when it's super, super hot either. So if in the summertime, just kind of keep it at room temperature and you'll be okay. But just kind of roll your hands like this, kind of get it moving. And then you would take this off and then you would pull the syringe out. Now, of course, always, 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 we want to make sure that we are doing everything sanitary, especially now with COVID. And so I do have a YouTube channel that I wanted to mention, that I do a step-by-step on how to do this treatment. If you're in the US, please make sure that you can go to that. It may appear that I'm touching the face. I am not. One thing that I'm really, really conscious about is the sanitation, but also, even though this is not super liquidy, we don't want it to be splatting on a client's face, okay? Especially when we're working in the eye area, because we don't want them to go, moving around like that. So I just wanted to kind of show you a couple things like that and kind of go from there. Moving forward between now and the end of the year and probably early 2022, we're going to be launching some other fabulous things. Now, one thing that we've really, really been working on hard is a polylactic ampule that we can actually microneedle with. A while back, there was a lot of practitioners that were trying to microneedle this ampule, and it's just not, molecule-wise, it's just not going to work. So we are really, really close to getting that MTS ampule ready, and we're thinking it's going to be ready by the end of the year. That is going to be specific for microneedling or nanoneedling or anything like that you want to push that product down even deeper. So I wanted to kind of give you a little bit of a teaser on that. Be looking for that by the end of the year. And of course, other things as we're developing. One reason why we decided to do the rebranding is because, like with anything else, there's going to be copycats. And, you can't really get away from that. But we also want to let everybody know that we're the originators of this. And there's not going to be any other copycat or otherwise that is going to have the highest ingredients that we do, or the highest amount of polylactic. And I just kind of wanted to share that. So make sure that you know where you're getting your product from. Of course, from Amore in Canada, reach out to me if you're in the US. And I guess that's pretty much it. I guess I'll open it up for questions if anybody has anything right now. Anybody have any questions?
Let me check, Brenda.
Okay, because I can't really see them without getting off here. I think it is.
Well, so far, we don't have any questions coming in.
Good.
Yeah, you explained very well. For Canadian accounts, or that's with us today in this webinar, we'll be offering you for a trial kit. I'm just going to go pull out here what trial kit we'll have. So for Canadians, you can have a trial kit. So this will be 5 pro treatments in your treatment rooms. So you will have 1 Cavipila serum, which is 120 ml, the biggest one that Brenda has showed you. And you will also have this Scapula H2 stem cell mist. So this goes hand in hand with the treatment. Yes.
Stem cell.
So it's about 449 for all of this kit. You already have a 5 treatments that you could try in your office. Now, if you wanted to add the Hexapil, which we actually carry here as well to soften up the skin, that will be 669. Hexapil is a type of, it's also a South Korean pill. So it's more easier on the skin, and I can see more softening in the skin when we're actually using that. But if you have any hydrating pill, we recommend something that's more hydrating than it depletes the hydration, because PLLA is it's a hydrophilic. They want something a more hydrated skin. So you also wanted to consider what type of product you cleanse the skin. It can't be the drying products before you administer the pro treatment. If you have any questions, or if you wanted to reach out to us about this Scapula kit that is also only available during the entire virtual event, just email us at info@scapula.ca. And I believe we have a question coming in. Give me a second here. I'm just going to go stop sharing that for now. And the question is, do you need a medical director, or can because Brenda, would you like to answer this one?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm trying to type it in.
No worries. So the question is, if you need any medical director in your office to do the treatment.
Did I answer? I thought that I did.
Oh,
I'll
you did.
just
Okay,
answer
perfect.
on. Can everybody hear me?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, so
there we go.
It really depends on your state, and I'm not really sure how things are in Canada, but here in the U.S. you do not.
Yes, the same in Canada. You do not, because it's not an injectable.
It's not an injectable.
Yeah, so it's topical, but it is just more powerful than any topical mask out there, because it has a special ingredient in it, which is like we've been saying all morning, is the PLLA, which is really amazing. Yes. Another question here. How many treatments in the trial kit? There's 5 treatments in the trial kit. So basically, we recommend for clients to do either 3 treatments if they're younger, or 5 treatments if they have a lot of issues. And this will be done successively within a week apart, so every 7 days. So they have to do it every 7 days. Yes. Now, at the end of the 3rd day or the 5th day, you might not see any results, because the ingredient is still trying to get in there. It's gonna bloom in about 3 to 6 months. It's the same as when you're doing injectables. You don't like, probably it's different from Botox. You see effects right away. But with PLLA, it takes some time for it to bloom. Yeah. All right. Another question and answer. Let me see here. I'm just going to answer that. All right.
One thing that I kind of want to, and that's good that you brought up the injectable. One thing that I wanted to kind of compare. Okay, we don't say that this is like the injectable, but I do want to compare the two. With the injectable, they are taking, it looks really similar to this, honestly, to the ampule that I showed you. And they're taking a syringe and they're going like in the bone area, deep down in the dermis. You see an immediately swelling, and then it kind of goes hidden. And then over the next couple of months, it starts helping us produce our own collagen. Polylactic, whether it's injected or whether it is topical, our body recognizes that, and it's creating its own collagen. So that's why when Amor was saying, when you have a younger crowd, they may not need as many as older people because our collagen is sluggish. So this is going to be amazing, not only for topical, but the more you do it, that polylactic is going down deeper and deeper and deeper. So it's ideal for people that want a non-injectable facial filler, but not the injections. But it's actually two different things. Another thing is if someone does get injections, they can still use this. It's not going to interfere with that. So I just wanted to say that.
Yes, exactly. So for clinics that are doing injectables, you can actually incorporate this in your treatment to prolong the the injections. Or
exactly. It really complements each other.
Exactly, because for injection it's more localized. With scalpel treatment, it's more all over the face. So you can also help not only volume enhancing, but also you can also help the skin tone and skin smoothness. So over the long run, the client will have more results.
Exactly. And you can do where you were saying it was localized. With this, you have your neck and your entire face. So your client can get their face and their neck treated as opposed to just one vial that's going to go into one little area. So.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yes. So we would like to encourage everybody to come back into the platform every 1 o'clock or 1 p.m. PST or 4 p.m. PST. Tomorrow we'll be having another demonstration from Patricia Hall. She has been an account for since we've actually launched in Canada, and she will be demonstrating to you guys the how scapula is done. Okay. So another question is, how long does the results last if you do 5 treatments? Would you like to answer that, Brenda?
Sure. I'll answer it live.
Okay.
Christine, you're asking amazing questions. I love this. You know, of course, everybody's going to be different. Okay. However, studies have shown that when they do a series of 5, once every 7 days, so you're going to do a treatment like today, a week from now, you do another treatment, a week from now. There is that sweet spot, you know, where Amor was saying that it's trying to work and all of that. So what we have found is our clients that are super committed to this and they're following the home care regimen to the letter and all of that, they are seeing about 5.5 months for 5 treatments. That's like an average. We've seen some that it's lasted a little bit longer. We've seen some that they've metabolized it a little bit faster, but on average, it's going to be about 5.5 months when you do 5 treatments. Now, let me also say this, with my clients and the accounts that I work with, I train them to say, you know what, don't wait until it's all gone and then start it again. Get your clients on a maintenance program. So, Amor, do you want to kind of share what you do with the maintenance program?
So with the maintenance program, after the first 5 series or 3 series, we ask them to come back a month after or 2 months after, provided that they have the home care treatment, which is the serum and the stem cell mist. At least the stem cell mist for the home care serum. That's because, you know, you wanted to add more on that volume and you also wanted to at least prolong the treatment. I have my own clients that have had it, and some of them doesn't even come back until 6 months and they're still lifted and they still have volume. Yeah. I have a client that comes on every month and I've been seeing him for 6 years and he's never aged. I felt like. And I myself is, you know, at the age of 41, everything just starts drooping. So I've started actually, I thought I don't need it. But earlier this year, since we've closed down and we're able to open all of my technologies that's in the storage, I started using it myself. And, you know, I personally firsthand I have a great experience with it. I don't need to do a lot of microcurrent. I don't need to do a lot of professional treatments because I get my volume back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true.
So yeah, this is from my personal experience.
Yeah, and when you mentioned microcurrent, that totally reminded me of another product that I failed to mention. So we also launched a promoter collagen gel that can be used with microcurrent. It can be used as a little layering after you do acne treatments because it has azulene in it. So it has the polylactic 4 growth factors, azulene that's very soothing, and it actually comes with the Time Master kit. But you can definitely get it on your own as well if you're here in the US. Do you have the promoter gel also?
We have the promoter gel here, but we're still working on the Time Master Pro for Canada.
Yeah.
Hopefully, before the end of the year, we'll be able to settle that. But we do have a few accounts that's started to order it and test it.
Good.
And
good.
You know, yes, we're getting good results.
Yeah. You can do this with microcurrent. You can do it with ultrasound, a bunch of other things. What's an approximate what you charge your clients? Okay, well, do you want to answer that or you want me to answer it?
You can answer it for US if you'd like.
Okay.
Then I'll answer it
here in the US, we actually have a website that's called housesupply.com. And so we have practitioners that once they have purchased this, they can be on the locator service. And we ask that people do not charge less than $150 here in the US. It averages $200 to $225 or more. Now, whenever I'm training accounts and I kind of use the 200 mark as the guide or how they can kind of do their return on their investment. And just, you know, for math purposes, we just ask that you don't do a treatment less than 150 or at least have it advertised that way to make it fair. And so it's not astronomical, but boy, the results are absolutely fabulous. For instance, we're not comparing the results necessarily with the injectable, but a lot of times, at least here in the US, it's going, even if you can find a good deal, it's going to be $800 for one vial for Sculptra. Well, you're getting, at least here in the US, they're getting their entire face and neck for $200. So they can almost have their series done of 5 as opposed to one vial of the Sculptra. To just kind of compare. Again, there's not really any comparison in the two, but if you are talking to a client and they're trying to decide whether they want to do it or not, that's a good way to tell them that they can do it a little bit more naturally and without the needle and all these other benefits that have peptides and growth factors and all of that in it. So hopefully that answered.
Yes, for Canada, we are minimum, and also it's the same with hop.com in the US. We do have a place in the website where retailers or practitioners are being featured, so the clients would know if they have it in their city or in their province. We typically tell our accounts to have the treatments at a price point between $250 to $350. So it's best that way. So we know that we have the same price point. And because we just don't open accounts anywhere, so we do have some exclusivity for this product in Canada. We just don't open accounts as to anybody because we wanted everyone to thrive. So if we have the same pricing point, between $250 to $350 for one treatment, that would be very, very great for everyone. So everyone can thrive. We have Nova Scotia accounts, and most of the treatments are $265.
Good.
Yes.
It's very worth that.
It is. Here in Vancouver, it's the same way. Our institutions, they charge at least 255, 265, some 285. I know somebody that charges I think 295, and that's really great because then you get to, you get to get the return of your investment, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what we all want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So kind of using Amore's show special, you are, let me kind of go back here and look at this. So you're getting 5 treatments for $449. And if you're doing mathematically the, say, we'll just say 250, you have, you're going to get your kit paid for in 2 treatments with
Exactly.
some left over.
Yes, exactly. That's how great Scopla is.
Yeah. And then the rest is just profit. So that's,
it's a high margin profit. So your target really for us is clients that can actually afford it. Mm-hmm. Right? It's
exactly
the ingredients in it is high end, and although it's a higher price point, but the accumulation of it over time is long term as well.
Exactly. Now, I kind of, you had mentioned or more that you just really started diving more into it this past year. Whenever I first started using these products, this really, really intrigued me because I had, and I just turned 55 a few weeks ago. So I felt like this, that I attribute to me not looking my age to these products. But when I first started, and which is very, very common with people that have maybe lost a lot of weight, or they've lost a lot of collagen, they'll have the concaveness in their jaws that's really known for people that they're like marathon runners. And I can promise you I was not a marathon runner. And or years and years ago when AIDS was kind of, you kind of had the alien look. So those are going to be clients that you're going to really, really be able to help. I'm not saying that is your, anybody that wants anti-aging, this is going to be for them, but really, if someone comes in and says, what can this do for me? Consistency is key. They are going to love the fact that it's going to fill in their face and lift their face. And it's that wonderful because it does go in there and help your body produce its own collagens.